You're 35,000 feet above the ground, moving at 500 miles per hour, strapped into a metal tube weighing 400,000 pounds. And somewhere in the back of your mind, the thought appears. It always appears. Where? Are the parachutes? Every seat has a seatbelt. Every seat has a cushion that floats, but no parachute. On a military aircraft, parachutes exist. On a skydiving plane, parachutes exist. On this aircraft carrying 300 people through the upper atmosphere, nothing. And the official answer has always been the same. Parachutes wouldn't help. But here's the truth. That answer is incomplete. The real reason is a system of calculated logic that most passengers have never been shown. And once you see it, the absence of parachutes stops feeling like negligence and starts feeling like the only rational decision ever made. If that kind of hidden logic makes you think differently, subscribe to Simple Facts. Every week, we expose the real reasoning behind the systems running your daily life. Rewind. Early aviation. 1920s and 1930s. Aircraft were small, slow, and catastrophically unreliable. Engines failed constantly. Structural integrity was questionable at best. Pilots flew alone or in pairs. Low altitudes, low speeds, open cockpits. A parachute made complete sense in that environment. The aircraft was the danger. Exiting it was the solution. Parachutes were designed for that precise condition. A single trained operator, low passenger count, survivable exit speed, and altitude that allowed deployment time. That world was simple, small numbers, controllable variables, brutal but manageable. Then aviation scaled, and everything changed. Enter the mechanism. A commercial aircraft is not a large version of an early biplane. It is a completely different category of machine. Here is the survival analogy that makes this permanently clear. Think of a military unit versus a civilian evacuation. A trained soldier can parachute from an aircraft, precisely because years of conditioning prepared that body and mind for the violence of the exit. A random civilian cannot. The physics alone are disqualifying. Commercial aircraft cruise between 30,000 and 40,000 feet, where outside air temperature sits at negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit, where atmospheric pressure is so low that exposed human lungs begin failing within seconds, where wind speed at the open door exceeds 300 miles per hour, enough force to strip consciousness instantly on exit. A parachute jump from cruising altitude requires pressurized oxygen equipment, thermal protection, altitude acclimatization training, and precise body positioning on exit, none of which 300 randomly selected passengers possess. But the mechanism goes deeper than passenger capability. Most commercial aviation emergencies do not occur at cruising altitude. They occur during takeoff and landing, where parachutes are completely useless. Too low, too fast. No deployment time, no survivable trajectory. Parachutes solve a problem that almost never exists while adding catastrophic weight, cost, and false confidence to a system that doesn't need them. Now see the full picture. Commercial aviation has a survival rate that makes parachutes not just unnecessary, but statistically absurd. Over 95% of aviation accidents have survivors. The aircraft, even in catastrophic failure, remains the safest place to be. Redundant engines, redundant hydraulics, redundant navigation, glide capability without any engine power. The machine is designed from its core to keep people inside and alive, not to eject them into an unsurvivable environment at altitude. Adding parachutes to every seat would add thousands of pounds of dead weight, increasing fuel consumption, decreasing efficiency, raising ticket costs, to solve an exit scenario that kills fewer people annually than hospital parking lot. Accidents. The system already works. The parachute solves nothing. The aircraft hasn't already solved better. The absence of parachutes on commercial aircraft is not negligence. It is precision. It is the result of engineers, physicists, and safety analysts running every failure scenario thousands of times and arriving at the same conclusion repeatedly. The aircraft is the parachute. The redundant systems are the parachute. The trained crew is the parachute. Real safety is never the dramatic, visible solution that feels reassuring. Real safety is the invisible system that makes the dramatic solution unnecessary. The ones who survive longest, in aviation, in business, in life, are never the ones who prepare for how failure looks. They are the ones who engineer failure. Out of the equation entirely. Subscribe to Simple Facts, because the most powerful safety net is always the one you never had to use.